Hello, everyone. I'll just be honest. I'm shaking. I've been shaking for a few hours now because I'm really nervous about doing this. But I feel like this is necessary. It's a necessary layer for me to shed that I didn't quite consciously realize I needed to. Yeah, I'll just start. I'll say a disclaimer first. In no way am I saying for anyone to follow in my footsteps. I am saying that I made a conscious choice for myself and for my life and to do what feels right for me. And in no way am I've realized now, I am not responsible for anyone else's decisions. And for about the last year and a half now, I'd been living in a little bit of shame, which had contributed to bouts of depression, which I wasn't fully realizing what was causing it. But I've learned that, I'm me expressing this isn't me trying to lead anyone away from what's right for them. Because, sorry, I took some notes. I didn't want to write a speech, but I wanted to have some points of things to hit. I can't make anyone do anything. This is my choice. Whatever they decide to do, either as a result of watching this video or as a result of what they choose to do for whatever reason, that's on them. And I have no judgment for other people. People can do what they want. I would appreciate the same respect. I've had to mentally prepare myself that I'm going to experience some judgment, some people unfollowing me or unfriending me, or people just not being comfortable seeing or hearing me talk about this and seeing what I'll be posting soon, because it's their own journey. And I applaud and respect anyone doing what feels right for them. So, and one last thing before I really get into it. If anyone decides to leave rude and disrespectful comments, this will say way more about you and how unhappy you are in your life than it will say about me. Okay? So, decide. What you decide to do is up to you. So I've mentally prepared myself for whatever may come my way. Okay, so this is definitely a layer I need to shed on my journey towards self-discovery and my choice to live authentically. And if I'm going to be encouraging and hopefully inspiring other people to be honest and true to themselves, which is so important for having just a free, liberating kind of feeling of life, And so here we go. 3 minutes in. I made a decision for myself a year and a half ago when I was working on a hemp farm and learning about CBD and the healing properties of cannabis and mushrooms. I made a choice to incorporate those into my life after 8.5 years of not touching any alcohol, any substances. And I realized that my identity had become so wrapped up in being sober, being in recovery, and people would ask me about me and I would be like, this is who I am, but I had nothing else to say for who I am and what my values were. That was my identity. And I think I've just been living in a bit of shame because I've been so afraid of letting go of this label that has made me acceptable or inspirational to so many. And I am so grateful for the 8.5 years that I had without any substances in my body. I had prescribed medication, which people say is okay, and I'm not against prescribed medication. The 8.5 years with no narcotics, no alcohol just did wonders for my life. I learned and healed through and worked through so much as a result of that. But the side effects of the medication I was on, my energy was low. I felt like a zombie. My mood was so it was barely like this, and now I feel like a range of emotions, and I'm learning to kind of balance them out on my own. And again, nothing wrong with medication. I'm not judging anyone who takes it or telling you not to. But I had weight gain. There were even sexual side effects. It it was beneficial for a point in my life, but the cons outweighed the pros for me eventually. And I'm just looking over my notes here quickly just to see if I can tie anything in. I'm off all meds. I feel like my mind has expanded as a result of incorporating these into my life, cannabis and occasional mushrooms. Now I think layers of thoughts. I question things. I look at things from an outside perspective rather than just being caught up in the emotions of everything. And I have this now I have this insatiable thirst for knowledge and growth and understanding why things are the way they are, why I do the things I do, why others do the things they do. And it's just for those who have seen me over the last year and a bit, other people have pointed out how much I've grown. So I'm not just gonna be hey, I've grown so much, I'm amazing. Other people have pointed it out, and I've felt it, I've experienced it, especially when I look back and see how much things have changed for me. And I'm not gonna say it's all because of this. I mean, I've done so much work on myself, but this has definitely complemented this journey, this part of my life. And I'm glad, I'm grateful that I chose to do this for myself. And yeah, it ties into the whole meditation aspect for me, or just learning to open the mind and think differently and just kind of go against the norms of what others say is okay. But I've started to question why do I have these ideas? Why do I have this certain programming that tells me that this is okay, but in other years or centuries or even just other parts of the world, these things are very socially acceptable. They're part of spiritual living, and it's fine there. But here, there's a lot of judgment, and people may feel shame about these things. Whereas alcohol, I mean, that was my number one go-to. That's what led me to doing cocaine, crystal meth, painkillers. And yeah, it's just alcohol especially that's poison for the body, but yet it's socially acceptable, and it's the cool thing to do. Or I'm not judging those who drink, but I mean, the body says it afterwards. It's I don't like this. This is poison for me. Generally people don't feel very good afterwards, and the body's trying to speak to you. It's unhealthy. It's toxic. So I haven't experienced any of that with incorporating this into my life. Sure, I've had moments of anxiety. I think a couple times I was in public, and I don't do that now. For the most part, I don't like being, feeling a little different when I'm around people, because then it's just kind of, embarrassing in a way. So, but yeah, people are so, I feel we've been socially conditioned to think alcohol is acceptable, and people would just rather trust what doctors say. I'm not going against what doctors say, but doctors, I was not prescribed this, but I didn't feel the need to go to a doctor to have them tell me what's right for me. I've been prescribed all sorts of medications and things that I was allergic to or had tons of side effects by doctors. And yeah, this was a choice I've made for me. So let me just see if there's anything else I want to go over. Yeah, even a doctor prescribed me morphine when I was in my addiction, and which led me down a spiral of seeking out painkillers and a whole other very unhealthy journey. So anyways, this is something I've felt kind of gnawing at me that I've wanted to talk about. I had changed my, heading or my bio on my profiles from clean and sober to sober, because I hadn't been drinking. But then now I'm just okay, alcohol free. And just, why should I live my life for other people's opinions or for certain labels that are more acceptable? If I'm going to talk about being free of living life for what other people think and choosing to do what feels right for me, I realize this is definitely something that I need to do, even though I'm scared. And I'm sure I'm gonna, like, some people are probably gonna say some hurtful things to me. I would appreciate it if they didn't. But this is what I needed to do for myself, for my own peace of mind, for my own well-being. And I'm going to be starting my own coaching and hypnotherapy business, and I'd rather start it off being completely authentic and true to who I am, and being very open and vulnerable and dare greatly, as Brene Brown says. I'd rather just be true to who I am and how I'm living. And yeah, if I'm going to be teaching other people the same thing, I'm like, to live and be true to themselves, I should be practicing exactly what I preach. I didn't realize I maybe hadn't been, but I realize that now. I just had a moment of clarity, and I was like, this is something I need to share about. So yeah, the last few hours while getting ready to do a shoot, I've been shaking, and I had to mentally prepare myself for this, but it feels right. And here I am telling the world I enjoy cannabis and I enjoy mushrooms, and it's benefiting my life, and I'm not telling anyone to do it as well. But it's funny because I think what actually nudged this, I think, as well, was there's a mushrooms company that reached out to me, and they asked if I'd be interested in posting and working with them and that kind of thing. And I was like, you know what? Like, the thought that went in my head was like, oh, I can't because I don't want anyone to know. But then I was like, no, wait, why can't I? Who decided that for me? Who decided it's okay for me? And essentially it's up to me. So here we are. Here's the video. I'm speaking my truth to the world. So love me or hate me, up to you. But I feel good being honest. So anyways, thank you for watching.